Hi everyone, Mr. Denner here again. I want to talk to you a little bit about the course that your student is taking, Digital Studio Art. Digital Studio Art is a new course offering here at Victor High School for the 2021 school year. It's a digital version of Studio Art, which is going to satisfy the requirement for Regents. That's the one credit that students need in the arts category. It's going to introduce students to ways of using computers and software to create works of art and design. We're also going to teach about career paths in this course, things like illustration, graphic design, animation, videography, and it will prepare students for courses in our elective selection, things like computer generated art, photography. It even opens up the door to things like drawing and painting. I shared this slide with students on the first day of class because I think it's important to keep in mind. We have to be under the assumption that time is precious. We're only going to get to see each other once a week, and because of that, we're going to run this course as a pilot course. I'm going to do everything I can to keep the assignments similar to what I intended them to be, but with the lack of resources, it's going to require a little bit of flexibility, so we're going to make the most of it. While students are at school, the expectation is that they're going to work on things like art making habits. We're going to talk about artwork through critiques. Students are going to learn software through tutorials that I give them. They'll spend time working on projects, and I'll also use that class time for any redirection and reassurance as students may have questions along the way. When we're remote, students are going to be doing things like investigating digital art and artists. They'll also be practicing techniques without my assistance. They'll be preparing for upcoming assignments, and they'll have time to work on projects. If a student ever has a question during remote learning, I encourage them to reach out to me and ask me before the next class, and I'll make sure I respond to them so that they're prepared and we can move on when we get into class. I do want to make note that in order to do this class to its full potential, having a laptop is a really important thing. My goals for the school year I also shared with students, and I want to share with you. It's a reminder that we are all in this together. So in order to do well for ourselves and for our students or our own children, first thing we want to do is take things one day at a time. We're going to do the best we can. I always tell my students that on any given day, I'll give you the best I have that day, and that all I ask is what they have in return, the best that they can give me. We're all going to have off days, and we're going to work through them and persevere together. We're going to focus on quality over quantity. So we may not get through as much content this year as I normally would like to, but the content that we will get through will be quality. We'll have the time we need to do a good job. And more importantly, the students will have time to feel confident about the work that they're doing as I work really hard to connect the work to their personal interests. I want them to be invested so that they can enjoy the work. We're going to make use of the resources we currently have available. Some students have access to laptops and desktops and Adobe programs. Others may have a Chromebook or something less. I want to do the best that we can to work with the programs that we offer here at school, but if we can't, I'm going to try and remain flexible and search for alternatives before starting projects so that every student can have a chance to succeed. Possible projects for the school year include things like logo design. We will definitely do some digital drawing and painting. We have great tablets in our classroom where students can learn to draw directly on the screens. We'll also do type design. We'll probably play around a little bit with character design. I know there's a lot of interest in that, as well as animation. I'll teach them a little bit about illustration and the art of storytelling. We're already started off with some digital photography. I'm excited to see where it goes. If we have time at the end of the year, we will also get to things like website design and some videography. The way that students are going to be graded this year is based on two categories: engagement and classwork. All student work is going to be graded based on their level of ability, and I won't compare students to one another, only compare them to themselves. So whatever their skill set is now, that's exactly where they need to be. My hope is that together we set goals for improvement, and we'll make sure we track and record that improvement over the course of the school year. Their engagement and participation is worth 50% of their grade. It's an easy thing to score on because all they have to do is come ready to work and give me the best they have on that day, and they'll do really well. Class assignments and projects will be an additional 50%, and I don't grade the projects based on their skill or level of ability. I grade the projects based on meeting requirements. They're only objective criteria because I don't agree with grading art on a subjective level. I think objectives are measurable and things that we can hold students accountable for, and it's also an indicator of whether we're doing the right thing or not. So I'm here to help guide them through those objectives. If a student ever gets a grade on anything that they're dissatisfied with, they'll always have an opportunity to resubmit their work with me as well. Finally, I want to leave you with this philosophy that I will share with my students on a daily basis. As long as we get better every day, we're going to have a great year and we're going to make the most of this time. So I'm really looking forward to working with your students in digital studio art. Thanks so much and have a great day.